So hello friends, let's continue our next tutorial. Next tutorial with the basically data binding types. So basically we have basically data binding. Already we know about the data binding, how basically data binding is working, and how basically whenever basically we have to do work with data binding, so how we can work. So the data binding is basically two types of basically data binding is basically going to do done. So that are basically one-way data binding, one way, one way, and two way. Okay. So basically one way and two way is what basically. See, in one way basically data is going to update with the basically UI. When data is going to change, it is going to update the UI. Okay. But when the basically UI is going to change, the data is not going to change in basically one way. Okay, so in two way, once the data is going to change, it is going to update the UI. Okay, and once the UI is updated, it is going to change the data. Okay, means reflection is both way actually in two way. And one way is going to implement using only this, only like this. One way is going to implement only like this, at the rate symbol, curly braces. It is the basically one way, one way. Okay, and at the rate equals to curly braces, it is the two-way implementation. Okay, let's see. Okay, for the demonstration, let me show you. For example, this is one edit text. This is our app. This is one edit text, and here is one text view. Suppose text view. Suppose I am writing here. Suppose I am writing here. I have input here Rakesh. Then immediately it will show here Rakesh. Okay, and if I will go to remove, okay, this input value is this input value, then this must be also removed. Okay, this is basically two-way data binding. One-way data binding already we have seen in one-way data binding in my previous example. So let's create one fresh project. Data binding one two-way demo. Making the gradle changes from I am making the gradle changes from my previous example. Copy the data binding library, enabling the data binding basically. Also copy the dependency. Copy the dependency. Now sync it. Let's move to the UI creation. Enable the data binding. Use the layout on the topmost. Close the layout. Let's create our bind first of all let's create the UI. So here is the edit text, match parent, wrap content. It is id t input, and I am going to change here, enter something, enter here, okay, and it is going to use top of top to the top of parent. Good. Okay, it will remain here, no issue. Just I am going to change text size, it is 20 sp, and text style, just I am going to change, it is bold, no issue. Now let's create the view model, one cosine class view model, activity view model, that will extend the view model class. I'm going to use here one variable, string variable, okay, so that is the basically, suppose its name, okay, and the name is basically mutable live data of type string it is, okay, and let it initialize this name dot value is equals to, suppose it is Rakesh, okay. Now come to the view model, so come to the XML file, use here the data, okay, and thereafter variable, okay, name is my view model, okay, and the class is main activity view model, okay, fine. So let's it here, use the text already, I think we have at the rate. First let me show you one way data binding. My view model, my view model dot, and then come to the main activity, let init var binding with view model, sorry, activity main binding, let init var view model main activity view model, data binding util dot set content view, provide the context, initialize the view model view model is equals to view model provider context dot main activity view model. Already you know these concepts, okay, like the life cycle owner view model dot, sorry, binding dot life cycle owner is equals to this, assign the view model. So binding dot my view model to view model. Okay, view model is going to assign to my view model. Okay, so fine, let me run this. So fine, here it is going to see here Rakesh. Okay, so Rakesh, because it is going to see here Rakesh because see, okay, um, I have just bind name to the text view only. Let me bind here also. We just have to use here text at the rate my view model dot name. Let me run once again. See here, this is the basically one-way binding, and basically suppose we are going to remove here. Okay, it is not going to remove. Suppose n dy and d. Okay, no, it is going to not going to also basically it is going to change. So let me use the basically here two-way data binding. So here equals to symbol, and here also I have to use the equals to symbol. Let me run again. Okay, let me remove it. Let me remove it. See, is I deleting the basically edit text. Okay, it is going to delete the text also, and reveal and reveal. So this is basically nothing but two-way data binding. Thank you.